Welcome to Facts TV News, where everything is true. 4 people shot, 2 fatally in Greenville, Manchester. 4 people were shot, 2 of them fatally, on 14th Street in Greenville, Manchester last evening, which was August 5th. Dead are 34-year-old Adrian Nation, otherwise called Blue, a chef of the community, and a man known as Lord Levy. Police reports at about 8:05 p.m., the men were among patrons at a party in the community when gunmen opened fire at the group. Nation Levy, a man and a woman, were hit. They were taken to hospital, where Nation and Levy were pronounced dead. Meanwhile, head of the Manchester Police Division Senior Superintendent Shane McCullough says a restriction has been placed on entertainment events in Greenville following the incident. He says the police will be maintaining a strong presence in the area.
The next couple of weeks, there will be no permits for parties and any other illegal events that they attempt to carry out in the area. Those will be shut down forthwith, and there will be a strong police presence inside the space and surrounding areas. So we're just asking the community, as we work to make them safe and make the environment safe, to cooperate with the initiatives that we put in place in the short and medium term to ensure that we don't have a recurrence like this.
Man shot dead, teen wounded in Catherine Hall, St. James last night. The St. James police are probing last night's shooting incident in Catherine Hall, Montego Bay, which left 1 man dead and a teenager hospitalized. Dead is 29-year-old Kemar Wilson, a cable technician of Catherine Hall. Reports are that about 10 p.m., Wilson was among a group of people sitting at the front of a shop when gunmen opened fire at them. Wilson and a 15-year-old boy who was sitting on his veranda were hit. They were taken to hospital, where Wilson was pronounced dead and the teen admitted for treatment. Man shot dead in Old Charios. The St. Anne police have launched a probe into the murder of a man in Old Charios on August 5th. The man's identity is being withheld pending notification of relatives. Head of the division, SSP Dwight Powell, said reports indicate that about 5 p.m. a gunman walked up to the man in the vicinity of a plaza and opened fire, hitting him in the head. The gunman then fled the scene. The wounded man was taken to hospital, where he was pronounced dead. SSP Powell said investigators are following strong leads. Trelawny man killed in Discovery Bay crash. A bike crash in Discovery Bay, St. Anne on Thursday, August 4th, claimed the life of a Trelawny man. Dead is 28-year-old Jeffrey Brody of Stewart's Castle in Duncont. Reports are that about 9 p.m., Brody was driving a motorcycle along the Discovery Bay main road when, upon reaching a section of the roadway, the bike collided into a Toyota Hiace motor truck. Brody was taken to hospital, where he died while undergoing treatment. St. Anne police to ramp up presence along roadways this weekend. The police will be boosting their presence along roadways in the parish this holiday weekend in an effort to stem crashes and fatalities. Head of the division, Senior Superintendent Dwight Powell, pointed to statistics which show 24 crashes and 31 fatalities so far this year in St. Anne, an increase of 50% in comparison to the corresponding period last year. SSP Powell is hopeful that increased police presence on the roadways will help to prevent crashes.
Relative to the road crashes in St. Anne, of course, we are seeing a serious increase in the crashes in terms of the number of fatalities that we have been seeing on our roadway in the parish of St. Anne since the start of this year. It is concerning, and we are seeing multiple crashes in those areas that we classified as bad spots. So we have had a few on the north-south highway. We have had a couple down in the Landover space, the Discovery Bay space. All these roads are relatively smooth and very good roadways, and so possess the urge for motorists to speed on them. So again, slight increase in the crashes, and we are putting out some additional measures to see how best we can slow down our motorists in terms of police presence on the main arterial. We are again appealing to the public who use our roadway, because having reviewed the accidents that have happened since the start of this year, most of these accidents are contributed because of human error in terms of the usage of our roadway. So we're going to use the opportunity again to advise the traveling public to ensure that the rules of the road are obeyed in every respect. Try not to exceed the speed limit in those areas so that we can save lives.
Holness administration taking environmental protection seriously, says the model. Minister without portfolio in the Ministry of Economic Growth and Job Creation, Senator Matty Samuda, says the government is taking the issue of environmental protection seriously. His comments comes on the heels of the announcement by the National Environment and Planning Agency NEPA that it tends to serve a notice of suspension of the environmental permit and license of the bauxite alumina company Windalco. Windalco has come under fire recently following the discharge of waste from its Riverton plant in the recovery in St. Catherine. The contamination has caused significant impact for fisher folks as well as disruption of water supply to several communities. NEPA also announced that the company will be prosecuted for its breaches and the agency will be joined down on the company's environmental performance ban.
This, to my mind, is a demonstration of how serious this administration is taking the issue of environmental protection. We're not perfect, but we certainly are working hard to ensure that we do all in our power to hold those accountable who breach our environmental standards and our environmental laws. We're also doing all we can to demonstrate to the public that we're not paying lip service to the environment. We protected the cockpit country. We're protecting the Pedro banks. This government is saying we will do all in our power to protect our air quality, our water quality, and certainly our soil quality. Today is a good day for environmental action. I'm saddened by what would have happened and I regret any displacement of those who live along that space. And the government will intervene to provide further support because we know people are hurting.
Steps being taken to close Riverton and other dams. Prime Minister Anjo Holness says concrete steps are to be taken to decommission the Riverton dump and other outdated disposal sites.
We have undertaken a comprehensive review of our public sanitation, garbage collection, and waste disposal system. And I know that this has been a perennial problem for Jamaica. We now have a plan which will see greater private sector participation in waste collection, the introduction of waste to energy conversion, the commissioning of new and properly built disposal sites, and the decommissioning of various dumps, including the Riverton City dump. By September, I will be having discussions with the Member of Parliament for Western St. Andrew to fully brief him on the plans and to secure his support for the plans, because just to be clear, this is something that the political class will have to work together on. It is not a simple matter of saying we are closing down Riverton City. People depend on it for their economic survival. People live around it. So there has to be a process. Jamaica is the land of wood and water. I acknowledge the sentiment among many Jamaicans that we have not been exceptional in the protection of our wood and water, our environment. Nevertheless, it is important to state that we have created institutions to act in protection of our environment while promoting sustainable development, NEPA and the NRCA. This administration has protected the cockpit country.
Jamaica's independence journey incomplete with British head of state, says Golden. Opposition leader Mark Golden says Jamaica's journey to independence remains incomplete as long as the nation continues to embrace the British monarchy as its head of state. He also questioned why the country continues to access final justice through a UK-based court.
Lest we forget, our journey to full political independence is still incomplete. Our head of state is not a Jamaican and has never lived here. Our final court of appeal remains a vestige of colonial rule, sitting in London thousands of miles away, and a majority of our people have no practical means of accessing justice there. After 60 years of standing on our own, there are a few out there who still believe that we are not ready to complete the circle of our political independence. It is time to cast aside such negative self-doubt. Jamaica 60 is an opportunity for us to come together and recommit to full political independence by removing the last vestiges of past colonialism.
CARICOM congratulates Jamaica on 60th independence anniversary. The Secretary General of Caribbean Community CARICOM, Dr. Carla Barnett, has congratulated Jamaica on its 60th independence anniversary, noting the country's outstanding record of achievement both within the region and internationally. In her congratulatory message to Prime Minister Andrew Holness, the Secretary General highlighted Jamaica's leadership in the important multilateral discourse on financing for development in the era of COVID-19. Prime Minister, the chance to commemorate Jamaica's Diamond Jubilee under the theme Reigniting a Nation for Greatness is fitting, given Jamaica's outstanding record of achievements, both internationally and within the region. Jamaica's excellence in the art and culture, sports, music, diplomacy, and other endeavors has been an outstanding example for the region, Barnett stated. Barnett added that Jamaicans at home and abroad continue to redefine the reputation of the country through their active contribution and impact in various fields. The community has benefited from Jamaica's leadership, particularly in its responsibility for external trade negotiations in the CARICOM. Internationally, the country has led the important multilateral discourse on financing of development in the era of the COVID-19, she said. The community takes great pleasure in celebrating this significant milestone of the country's history with the government and people of Jamaica, and extends its support and best wishes for the future achievements, prosperity, and progress of Jamaica, Barnett went on to say. Please remember to subscribe, like, share, and click the notification bell